to Jamie TV, streaming 100% live on YouTube, set up a little bit differently today. We're going to be doing some, well, I'm going to be doing, set up a little bit differently today. Made the same mistake again, but I can't kind of explain this. Well, I'm going to be doing, I'm using a Samsung to monitor the chat, and I have no idea how Android stuff works. The situation is this. Normally what I would do is when I'm using my second iPad to so that I can be on screen, because if I'm not doing that, then I use that for the chat. So when I am using it for that, then what I do is I have my computer on, which is behind what you can see here, and I have the chat going up the computer screen. But I can't do that today because I'm going to be doing some vocal recording, and the microphone picks up the fan noise from the computer. So I was sat here thinking, what am I going to do about monitoring the chat? Because the chat does go up on my phone. You can see the phone in this shot here. It's up here. It does go up the Streamlabs thing, but it's not that easy to see, and it's just a small screen. So if the chat kind of disappears off the top of the screen, that's it. I've had it. I can't reply to anything. So I thought, I just had this brainwave a few minutes ago. Hang on a minute, I could use that Samsung. I think that's got YouTube on it. I don't really use it for much else apart from I used it to learn Audio Evolution on, actually. It's the only real music making I've done to any kind of great extent on any other device other than any other mobile device other than an Apple one. So anyway, so I'll put that down there so I can see the chat, and if anyone could let me know if the if you can hear me all right and everything's okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do some vocal recording in the live stream, which, as I think about it now, seems to be a ridiculous thing to do because I'm not the world's greatest singer. Yeah, but you know, we'll just go for it, right? And if I sing some terrible notes and if I'm pitching awful, then just laugh at me. I don't care. Honestly, it really does not bother me. Well, check out the merch, by the way, the Do Not Pissy Pants About t-shirt, available at my Bandcamp. Now you might notice there's a bit shadowy on my face here because I've kind of tried to light the room so that so that the screen is nice and visible, but you can see me, but there's no glare on the screen, etc., etc. But with this pop shield here, it's kind of casting the shadow on me, but that doesn't really matter, does it? We don't care. No expense has been spent is probably the point. So what we need to do before I ever go at this vocal, I'm going to share with you something I've learned to make this process a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do is, in my project, we'll just scrunch everything up so we can see what's there. Now the track that I'm using for this mic so I can speak to you on, I'm going to use that to record the first vocal. Now what I need to get is a level where I've not got the track kind of too loud in my cans, because if it's, I mean, the microphone will probably pick up some overspill from my headphones just a little bit, and I'm not too worried about that in a track like this. If it was a gentle ballad, I would be. I'd go to greater lengths to prevent that, but I don't want too much of that overspill. I want to be able to hear a nice balance of everything. I don't want to have it too loud. And I need to be especially cautious about this because I need to be very aware of the volume of the feed that is going out to you guys. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got my congas here on a group track there, and I've got my drums on a group track here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another group track, and then I'm going to add to it everything else. So just select everything apart from congas and drums. That'll do us. And then if I go to my, no, before I go to my mixer, right, that's my new group there. So I've got a group of everything else here, drums there and congas here. So if I drag the congas down here, now I've got 3 group tracks that I can use to balance all the other music against the vocal. So now what I think I'll do, this has just occurred to me, so hope this goes okay. I'm going to go to setup and we'll go into MIDI learn, and let's, I think this is already set up to, hang on, just come out of there. Let me just check this. Right, okay, so is this partially in shot? So my little Korg Nano control, I can use the transport functions on it to start and stop, so I don't have to keep reaching for the screen, which might be awkward while I'm doing the vocal recording. I can even set recording from down here. So what I'm going to do, let's go back to where I was, go to MIDI learn, and then we'll go to the mixing desk. Let's find those group tracks. Right, so that's the new group, the drums and the congas. So I'm not bothered about setting all the functions, but if I just go like this and put that on this end fader, I'll just show you what I'm doing. I'm just putting that on this fader here, and then drums to this fader and congas to this fader. Okay, so now I should be able to so yeah, we'll exit MIDI learn. Right, just make sure they're working. Have I done that right? Yeah, okay, that's working. So now I'm just gonna have a little sing and get myself a little balance. Right, hang on, we need to just get this to the beginning of the track, preferably. Where's it start? Starts there. I think that's about right. Hang on. Okay. Right. Okay. So that's my start point. Right. Just bear with me a little moment. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to be able to see the vocal recording in, so I'm just gonna scoot this up nice and large. And actually now I'm wishing that I'd maybe put myself a fader for my voice. So that's going to annoy me because it's going to be in the wrong order. So if I put my voice there, go back to MIDI learn, to my mixer, and then, oh no, wait a minute, no, that will have messed up where all the faders are. That will have put, no, wait a minute, no, I can make this work. So, or can I? Let's just see. Right, that's congas, that's drums, that's my voice. Okay, I'm confused now. Yeah. All right, let's just move that where it was. Move that back to where it was. And try this again. So, yeah, all right, and I'll make this fader here for my voice. All right, that seems to be working. Exit MIDI learn, just double check that. So I've got everything else, drums, congas, and my voice. Okay, right, so I'm just going to have a little sing and get myself a little balance. Now, let me just check the chat here. Where is the chat? I don't know how Android devices work, and I'm not seeing the chat, which is exactly what I got this for. Okay. Or maybe just nobody said anything. Is there anybody here? Maybe I'm just talking to myself. Okay, if you're in the chat, please type something so I can just check whether this is working or not. And while I wait for you to do that, I'm just going to have a sing and get myself a bit of a usable level here. Since we fell in love, things have been tough. Ever since we met, we've had it rough. But I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Okay, now I've got a level there that sort of sounds right to me. And is working for me. I hope it doesn't sound too terrible for you. I guess that the vocal may seem like way up in the mix, but I need to kind of be able to hear what I'm singing very clearly, and just because I'm a very pitchy singer and I need to be able to try and catch that as I go along singing and make a note of what needs fixing up later. Also, because it's a vocal, I'm less concerned about timing than I would be if I was, say, for instance, playing a bass, right? So nobody's talking to me. It says 6 people are here, and there's nothing in the chat. So maybe this is maybe I just don't know what I'm doing, or maybe nobody's talking to me today. But that's okay. I shall press on, and when I've done some vocal, if there's still nothing in the chat, then what I'll do is I'll maybe switch this iPad out so I can have a look at the chat and see if I can't work out what's going on. All right, so a little drink of water. And you may have noticed I've not got any vocal effects. Now, very often when I've been in studios where vocals have been getting recorded, and I say it like that because it's not usually me who's doing vocal recording in the studio. I sing on my own stuff, but usually what a producer or engineer will do is give the singer a bit of reverb a few effects just to kind of make them feel a bit more comfortable about what they're doing. And I don't work like that. I record my vocal very dry, totally dry, because I know that I'm not an especially accurate singer at times. The having that extra bit of gloss on it tends to make me feel too comfortable about my singing, and maybe not try hard enough. And so when it's totally dry, I'll try harder to make it as accurate as I can. And then we add the gloss after. Do I need to have a cough before I do a bit of singing? Just a second. Okay, right. Had a little cough. Right, let's have a go at a take. Have I got that armed? I've got that armed. And I want to see that recording in. Now, I don't know what the level will be like as far as the amount of the level of what's going to record. I'm just going to go for a take because I could do with a practice run anyway, and we'll see how it comes out and work it out from there. I would say if it's distorting, if the vocal is too loud and it's kind of peaking, tell me in the chat, but I'm not seeing anything. Okay. Since we fell in love, things have been tough. Ever since we met, we've had it rough. But I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. When things go wrong and we swear and cuss, just when you've had enough, it goes from bad to worse, and it gets you down and you just can't cope. But I'll never let you down, so don't lose hope. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. Okay, so you may have noticed that because I'm a guy who plays things with strings, and when I'm singing, I have no idea what to do with my hands, and I get all kind of, but it does kind of help me understand why singers are so, when they're singing, singers who don't play anything. Okay, let's have a look at what I just recorded and see what the levels look like. See if anything is peaking or... Right, nothing is peaking. That looks good. I'm not saying it sounds good, but it looks good. Now, I'm still not seeing any chat on my phone here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a quick visit to YouTube here on this iPad. It doesn't matter if nobody's speaking to me. It doesn't matter if nobody's here, but I just don't want to be sort of being rude and not replying to anybody. Oh, see, people are talking in the chat. Why is it not coming up on this phone? There's like a whole lot of chatting going on. All right, okay, let's just take a moment here then. I think the mic will pick me up. Okay, let's just put this chair over here and have a look at the chat. Thank you for being here, people. Hello, Mick. Hello, Jade. And hello, Samuel. And hello, Paul. And Nobat. Thank you so much for being here, people. Right. Where are we? And Brooke, hello. So, are we saying anything of any consequence? La 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 la. We're typing like crazy, Jamie. Sorry about that. Well, let me just show you this. Right, look. Right, so I'm using this. Oh no, it's all white and glary. So I'm using this Samsung. Oh look, that's the chat there. Look, there's like just the links I posted in the chat and nothing else. I don't know why that. Maybe I could just try and restart this and see if something. Oh, now there it is. Why didn't I just restart it? All right, okay. So now that that's working, I can close this and put this back onto airplane mode so that I'm not getting pop-ups. There we are. Right, okay, so let's have a look at the chat. That's what happens when you use an Android, Jamie. yeah apparently. Okay. What do you mean playback error, Mick? Is everything okay with the stream? Is everything all right? Thank you, Nobat. I'm not a singer. I'm a musician who does some singing, and my voice is just one of my instruments, and it's not my best instrument. I just where I stand on singing is that I right from the very word go, when I very first started learning to play instruments when I was a kid, right from the word go, I wanted to write songs. And I was never really very good at writing songs for other people to sing. Now, I've written plenty of riffs and contributed co-writing wise to plenty of songs, that other people have sung. And that's one thing, but actually kind of penning a song from scratch for someone else to sing is not something I've ever really had a very good experience with. I like to sing my own songs because they're my own thoughts and feelings. I tend to write about things that do actually matter to me, issues that are actually on my mind. When I wrote this one, it was about when me and the missus got together, and there were certain issues that were problems, and money problems and things like that, and yeah, so I feel that the words that I write are probably best sung by me because they're my feelings. And as you know, like, some of the greatest songwriters in history have not been the greatest singers. So anyway, everything's okay now. All right, good. There's some issues, just refresh. Yes, okay, right. We better have a listen to this vocal then, which makes me slightly anxious. Let's have a listen. Since we fell in love, things have been tough. Ever since we met, we've had it rough. But I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. When things get rough. Okay, right, what I want to do, this track here, this is the track that I use to speak to you on during the feed, but I've recorded the vocal there. So I'm going to add, let me duplicate that track, and I'll just take that off, and then I'll delete the audio from here. Right, so now this track is at exactly the same level as that track. What I'm going to do, there's a couple of bits in that verse there I'm not happy with. Things have been tough ever since we met, we've had it rough. That's flat, and you're the one for me, is we were meant to. The only thing I know is we were meant. That's a bit, I'm not keen on the phrasing there, so I'm going to re-sing the first verse and hopefully get those bits better, and then we'll chop a good verse together, hopefully. Right, so I'm muting that, I'm going back here, and I'm recording, and I just twatted the microphone. Stupid hippie. Since we fell in love, things have been tough. Ever since we met, we've had it rough. But I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. I think I'm doing strange things with my hands again. Okay, let's just have a listen to that one. Since we fell in love, that's bad. Things have been tough. Ever since we met, we've had it rough. That's better. But I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. Okay, right, so those two bits that were pants in the first one are better this time around, so let's chop those bits in. Tough. Ever since we met, we've had... Right, so that's that bit there. So for right now, I'm not bothered about cutting out any breaths or anything like that. I'm just going to very simply, I could have chopped those both at the same time, but I'm talking and doing, and that's never a good combination for me. Right, I'm just going to shove that in there. Tough. We met, we've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. But I have no doubt you're the one for me. You're the one for me. I think that's stronger than the first time around, so I'm going to chop that. I'm going to chop that here. And there. There. Chop that. Erase that. And then chop this one and shove it in there. Okay, let's listen to that verse and make sure it doesn't suck. Since we fell in love, things have been tough. Ever since we met, we've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. Okay, I'm much happier than that. Basement Guitar Superstar is here. Now, if you're not familiar with that channel, you really should check it out. Not yet, because I'm doing a stream, right? Don't do it now. But when I finish my stream, go and check it out, because it's very cool. And we've got some unboxing of guitars on there, and thoughts and opinions about guitars, demos of guitar gear, and some interviews with various artists. One of them being me, right? So go check it out. It's a very cool channel, and give the guy a sub and some thumbs and stuff, right? So I'm much happier with that verse. Now let's have a listen to the pre-chorus and see how much that sucked. Where is it? It must be that bit there. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. When things go wrong and we swear and cuss, Just when you've had enough, it goes from bad to worse. It seems to be that note. That note I'm having difficulty singing in tune. Whereabouts is it? I've lost track of whereabouts it is. And we swear and cuss. We'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. When things go wrong, and we swear and cuss. Just when you've had enough, it goes from bad to worse. And it gets you down, and we swear and cuss. Just when you've had enough, it goes from bad to worse. And it gets you down. I can't decide now whether that's pitchy or not. Maybe it's acceptably pitchy, right? Because it is me. It's not going to be perfect. And we swear and cuss. Just when you've had enough, it goes from bad to worse. And it gets you down, and you just can't cope. But I'll never let you down, so don't lose hope. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. We'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. There's a weird glitchy bit, and it doesn't sound like it's my voice. Hang on. We'll stand up tall forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. Okay, maybe there's not a weird glitchy bit. I must have been hearing something else. Forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. Yeah, it's there. It's there. We'll stand up tall. Okay. Why didn't I hear that when it was solo? We'll stand up tall. Yeah, okay. That one's redoing. Okay. I'm reasonably happy with the vocal up to this point. So whatever they throw at us will. So I just need to drop myself in somewhere where I know where I am. That'd be good. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times. Okay, so I'll sing along to this part then and drop myself in. You know what? I'm not using my nano control. I just keep forgetting. I'll take the record off there, and then I can. Yeah. Let's do this. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand. Okay. Raise that bit. So where am I? whatever they throw, and together. Double time. You know what? I just cannot. I can't think where I am. So let's go. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to record an entire chorus because it won't hurt me to have a spare. So I'll just find out where I am. There's only one. Right, so press the record over here. There's only one place. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. Okay, I sang that last bit wrong, but maybe that doesn't matter because I think that bit was okay the first time around. So I've got some spare vocals there for the chorus. Let's go to the end, do the rest of the vocal replacements, and then we'll have a look at chopping in the bits that are not so good. Sounds fine. Thank you, Mick. Thank you. I'm glad you like the 60s rock samba big band vibe. It's I should have been around in the 60s. You know, I've got a baby sitar and everything. I would have, you know, that would have been a good time for me to be alive, I think. You know, and I wouldn't be pissing about trying to figure out how this bloody Android works. Okay. Just have a little cough. Okay. Let's. I just pressed something by accident, didn't I? I think I've duplicated a track. Hang on. I've duplicated that track. Okay, so we'll just delete that track off there. Okay, and then let's have a listen to these vocals here. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. Okay, there are a few little bits in there that are not dreadful, but could be I'm just a little bits I'm not happy with the phrasing of, or maybe aren't quite as strong as what they could be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another take of the last pre-chorus and double chorus at the end, so I've got some spares to chop in. And then I shall sit down and we will compile a good vocal. When I say we, obviously I will do it. And then what I'm going to do when I've compiled a good vocal and I'm happy with it all the way through, then I'm going to show you how I would get a nice vocal sound in Mixbox. So yes, where do I need to come in? When things get rough. So if I go back a little more from there, mute that channel, and then press record over here on my nano control. I'm getting used to using it. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. Okay, right then. So some of that was okay, and some of... You sang it at a lower pitch that time. I may very well have. Okay, some of that was, in my opinion, was better, and some of it was not. And this is the beauty of compiling a vocal. The way that this process was sold to me by a producer I had the joy of working with many, many years ago was that he said that when he got a singer in the booth and got them all set up and got them comfortable and they started singing, he said usually he would get them to do a couple of warm-up takes just to kind of get the voice going, and then he'd say, right, now have a good sing. I'm not going to record this one, but have a good sing, go for it as though you were doing it properly, and let's really kind of, get geared up for that first take. And he would record it. And he said invariably that one would have the best expression in it. Maybe not the most accurate, but the best kind of characteristics in it. And then he would get them to do several more takes. And obviously it depended on how good the singer was. Some people have a terrific voice, but are maybe not the most accurate of singers, and some vice versa. And then he would sit down and compile a good vocal rather than kind of have the singer kind of go at it and get one perfect take all the way through and wear the voice out. Because if this is somebody who's making an album or someone who's been paid by the hour, right, time is always of the essence in a studio. And so he would compile all the best bits. What he had to do was make a note as it went along for every phrase once he was sure that he got one for each line that was a good take, and then he knew he could compile one good one. So I kind of try and do that myself, but I'm not too strict with myself because I'm not bothered if some of my singing is slightly inaccurate or slightly out of time or slightly, maybe a bit pitchy here and there, because it's me. I want it to have the character, and I'm not bothered about trying to impress anyone, you know, from the technicalities of singing point of view. So I'm going to sit down. I'm going to move this microphone, so I'll just mute it. Okay, right, so now we will go through and we will compile a good vocal. I've just had a pop-up to say that there is a new there's a new video on the One Man and His Synths channel. Another thing that you must check out after this stream is finished, of course. Right, so just that'll do like that. That's fine. Okay. Right. So I shoved the bits that I wanted from this take onto that take, so I can now delete these. And right, now let's see what's going on here. Original. Right, listen to the original. Listen to the original take. Through troubled times, we'll stand to place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. And this one. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times, tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. Okay, which is better there? This is the end of the second chorus. What's better, if I go higher or if I go lower? No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. Alright, now switch them round. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. I think I sang the higher, more powerful one better than I sang the first one, but I'm doing that in the last chorus. I don't know which to pick. I think what I'll do is I will pick the higher one based on the fact that it is simply sung better, but I prefer the ending on the first one. So let's chop that out there. I don't know if I really want to. I'm going to be brave. Delete it. Right, shift that there. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. Okay. Now wait a minute. I just got distracted by that last vocal. I was of the opinion that this whole chorus was sung better. So I actually could have just moved this whole thing in one, I think. Chop that there. Right. I'm going to move this down here until I've listened to this one more time to be absolutely sure. Place to be through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. Okay, 3 points that come to mind whilst listening to that. Number 1, have you noticed how the follow thing in Cubasis still switches itself off every other half a second, despite me telling Steinberg about it a few times. Also, I am not going to be able to sing a harmony to this, certainly not above, because I can't sing in full voice more than, you know, maybe a semitone more than I'm singing there. So if this is going to have a harmony, a higher harmony, it's not going to be me who sings it. And I always perform everything on all my tracks. Not really for any other particular reason than it's just me here. So I think what I'm going to have to do is to look maybe for a couple of nice lower harmonies and see if that works. That's not usually what I do. And the other thing is that maybe it would be advisable in this track to, when I've compiled one good vocal all the way through, is to duplicate it and make one track for the verses and pre-choruses, and then the other track for the choruses, because my voice is just naturally a lot louder singing in that range. And I do, you know, I'm going to obviously be using some compression and stuff, but I don't want to have to compress, you know, too much. I'm not a big fan of that massively compressed vocal sound that is very popular these days, he said, grumbling away like a stupid old miserable hippie. Okay, so let's delete these off. We don't need these. Now, the last choruses. This is a bit more taxing to sing at this point. So let's kind of chop out the weaker bits. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever, through troubled times, we'll stand. I'm a bit pitchy on times there. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Through troubled times, we'll stand Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Okay, I liked this take up until that flat note. Through troubled times. That's there. My voice never sounds good double tracked. It's an effect that sounds fabulous for some singers, really does, but not for me. So this I thought was good here, there. So chop that one out. Shift this one down for a moment, put this here, keep the original through troubled times. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. whatever they throw at us. That one's really weak there. So check this one. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them. Whatever they... Just a moment here. Right. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. That's not good there. That's not good. Whatever they throw at us. Whatever they throw at us. That's really weak. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times, all. Right, that note's a bit flat there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop this there. I'm going to swap out the top bit there. Now, where was that weak bit on the top one? Whatever they throw at us. Right, it's from there. So that, we'll chop that here and switch that out up there. Get rid of that. Move this one up. Right. Now, I'm presuming that I sang that bit in tune on the first one. I didn't check yet, so. Through troubled times. Through troubled times. Apparently I didn't. That's weak on both takes. Through troubled times. Through troubled times. Okay, the first one is less pitchy, but neither of them are good. Okay, I might have to redo that bit or switch one in from, I might copy one across. Let's see. I'm not a massive fan of copying across, but when it's like the odd bit, I guess it doesn't really matter. But when people kind of complete a whole chorus and then copy the entire thing across, it's like, you know, it's alright for backing vocals, you know, but like for a lead vocal, where's the art in that? We'll stand together. I keep doing that, don't I? Apologies for that. We'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. I think there's a little noise there. I think I know what it is. Through troubled times. Yeah, there is a noise, and I'm going to tell you what it is, right? Because I am wearing no socks and sandals, right? And I noticed as I sang that last little bit, what happened was I kind of like leaned up and my foot came away from the bottom of the sandal, and it just made a kind of a little sort of a skin coming away from leather kind of a noise. That's what that is. All right, so that ruined that bit of that take, but fortunately the first one is good there. The rest of the second take is, I think, better. I'm doing the wrong bit here. Right, so there, chop that, chop this, delete the rubbish one, and then we can we're replacing that whole bit. I think we could probably replace that whole bit. I think my voice just opened up a little bit for the second take, and most of those notes there are more powerful than first time around. Not that my voice is powerful, but you know, more better, just better. So now there's that one little bit, the through troubled times, that's a bit pitchy that we need to sort out. Other than that, we may now have a reasonable vocal all the way through. So let's have a listen to the track with this vocal and see if there are any bits we're not happy with. And by all means, right, if there are any bits that you think are poor, then put in the chat. Just, you know, let me know where they are and which bits. Since we fell in love, things have been tough. Ever since we met, we've had it rough. But I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. When things go wrong and we swear and cuss, just when you've had enough, it goes from bad to worse. And it gets you down, and you just can't cope. But I'll never let you down, so don't lose hope. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. When things get rough, when things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. Through troubled times. Okay, there's that one glaringly out of tune bit that I noticed. Did anyone else notice anything else? Clear Grey Sky. I don't use auto-tune. I tend to upset people when I talk about auto-tune. It's a very, very useful tool for a producer. And if you're in a studio, if you've recorded someone and after the fact, when they've gone home and there's a bit that's a bit pitchy and you're like, there's no other vocal that's the same that I can chop into that bit, it's a tool that's useful and I would use it in that circumstance. I get people using it as an effect as well. It's not an effect I like, but it's an effect and I get people using it. But I don't use it on my voice. I just feel like for me the art is in doing it, is in performing it, and I'm a bit precious about the reality of it. I don't want a machine to correct it, and that's just how I feel about my own personal, my music. It might be a little bit old-fashioned and pompous, perhaps, but that's just how I feel about it. Okay, it's sort of a little bit like, you know, like if you did a great painting and there was one little bit that was a bit pants, and you know let the computer finish it off for you. You didn't do it 100% yourself, did you? And I'm not saying that's a terrible thing when other people do it. It's just not something I'm comfortable with doing. So I think that bad bit is just here. Through troubled times. Yeah, it goes super flat. So let's lose that bit there because that sucks. I'll just take off snap to bar. And then I think I'll probably put it back on. Let's find one that's good and I'll just copy it in because when things not there, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times we'll stand. See, that one's good there. What about on the other take, actually? There's only one place to be. Through troubled times we'll stay. It's not as good on the second take, so I'm going to copy in this one. Through trouble. That's it there. I keep muting the one I'm talking. Apologies. Right, so if I go like that, right, okay, take snap to bar off again, go in here. Split that there. Okay. And then I'm going to copy that and pop it in here. Pop it there. All right. Through troubled times. Keep doing that. Through troubled times we'll stand together. There's a little problem with this. Through troubled times. Nightmare. Honestly. Just let's mute that one so I can still touch it. Through troubled times we'll stand to. That one doesn't really it's not quite the right phrasing for that point of the song. I don't know why. Through troubled times we'll stand together. No, it is. It's fine. Okay. Right. Just checking the chat. Okay, well, I think what I'm going to do, obviously, if I wasn't recording this whilst live streaming, right, then there are little bits in here that I might go back and redo. I might kind of go through it with a finer tooth comb and go and redo certain little bits. And the reason I'm not going to do that is A, because I am live streaming and I don't want to bore you and be too tedious, and B, because I am going to be experimenting a little bit later on today with some harmonies. Now, the whole point of this live stream, recording this song in a live stream in front of everybody, was to do more or less the whole thing live, so you could see the process and see all of my mistakes and flaws and how I correct them. But when it comes to doing harmonies, there may be a certain amount of screeching and wailing. So I might do a stream where I put them down, but I'm certainly going to try and work some out off camera so that I don't hurt your ears, right? So when I come to the mic to do that, when I've lived with this lead vocal for a little bit, if there are any bits that are a little bit not up to snuff, then I'll replace those little bits then. So we can proceed as we are, and I'm comfortable with that. So I'm just going to clear off these vocals that we're not using on this track. So I'll just drag and select all of those and erase them. We now have a finished vocal. Now what I would do, some people, when they have a lead vocal to mix, what they would do is they would use a gate so that in between each line where the breaths are, the gate closes and there's no audio coming through until you open your mouth to sing again. What I tend to do is this. I don't really like arsing about with the gate with that, because sometimes my singing is a little bit breathy and stuff, and it's difficult to set the gate right. So I simply go through the audio. It's a bit tedious and laborious. I'm not going to do this in the stream. I go through it and I just chop out the silencers, right? I just do this, get rid of them, and then when I'm working with getting a sound for the vocal later on, I will have it soloed and I'll hear if there are any little clicks and little fades that I need to put in, stuff like that. Alright, so whilst telling you about that, I've just done a few examples, but that's as far as I'm going to take that. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to... You do it like that too, Ed. Good. Clear Grey Sky says it plays the parts on the piano and then sings to that. That is a fantastic way to do it. What I do very often, if I'm trying to find a harmony, usually the way that I will do a harmony is I'll get the lead vocal down, right, and I'll play it back, and then I'll sing along to it and I'll experiment, and usually I'll just come up with harmonies like that. When I'm struggling a little bit, or let's say if I found a harmony that's kind of nice but I've got a bit in it that's not really quite working and I'm not sure what note to go to, that kind of thing, I just get my guitar and I play the chord that I'm singing the line over. Then I'll work out what the melody is on the guitar, right? So I'll play that and then I'll sing the harmony to that, and then when I can hear where the bit where it's not going quite right, then I can go through the notes of the chord, the notes of the scale, and find note options where I could, where I could sing instead. Right, I just need to cough. Just give me a moment. I coughed and sneezed. I'm glad you didn't witness that. Right, okay, so blew my head off. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Mixbox and we're going to get a sound for this vocal. Because what I like to do, working on, you know, this kind of a vocal track, is at this point I've got everything in the project is real audio, but not all the effects have been applied. It's not a final mix. It's kind of just heading in that direction. So at this point, I put the vocal on as kind of the icing on the cake, if you like, and then get a sound for the vocal. Try and get something like a finished sound for the vocal, and then I work backwards and get the sounds for the other instruments to a finished point, because I feel like once the vocal is on there and I've got a sound for it, I kind of know what sounds I am surrounding that vocal with. All right, so let's just bring the vocal down in the mix a little bit, because it's going to be a little loud once we start applying effects in Mixbox. Just have a little listen to that. Things have been tough ever since we met. We've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to. I just realised something. I brought the volumes down with the group faders, which we now actually no longer really need. So things have been tough ever since we met. We've had it rough, but I have no doubt. Okay, I'm going to have to be careful with the volume of the feed here, because now we're getting towards more of a full sounding mix. I'm just very conscious I don't want it to be distorting to you guys. Okay, right, so just looking at the chat. Burn66, hello, thank you for being here. Right, so what we're going to need here is Mixbox. So insert effects, and now the reason I'm using Mixbox for this is quite simple really. It's because it's absolutely awesome. There are other effects, like, you know, there are compressors and EQs and things and reverbs that are stunning on iOS. There are some incredibly good ones. The thing about Mixbox is we've got a whole rack's worth of them, all really, really good ones. So it's just, you know, it's just there's just such high quality sounding effects. It's just wonderful to have them on iOS. So let's make Mixbox nice and big. We've got a bit of a graphics glitch going on. I'm not sure what that's about. Let's see if we can cure this. Oh dear, it's gone a bit weird. Right, let's close it. I've just been raving on about how good it is, and it's doing strange things. Okay, right, so there is Mixbox, and if I do that, okay, it resizes nicely. But if I do this, it resizes nicely to make a liar of me. Okay, fine, I don't care. Right, so what I'm going to do is, rather than using a preset, I am going to build a vocal rack and show you what I might use in it and kind of why, I guess. Right, so I think what I need to do, actually, what I sort of forgot to do, was just to bring the volume of that vocal down a little bit, because it is going to get louder as we process things in Mixbox. And it might be nice if, hang on, have I got that one's, yes, that one's that gob, right. And it might be nice if I could solo that using the nano control without coming out of Mixbox to solo. So go to MIDI learn, come out of there, go to mixer, right, so that one was, yeah, there, and solo button is that one, yeah, okay, that works. And while I'm here, I'll just do the mute just because I can. Right. Okay, exit MIDI learn. Right, so now I can use this fader to adjust all of that while we're working in Mixbox. That's good. Okay. Maybe I could speak to you on that one. And that would make it, would just make it easier, an easier process. Sorry, I'm thinking about things that I didn't think about before the stream. Sorry about that. We'll see how we go. Let's just do it on the fly. Maybe if I just press that button there, that will work. No, because when I've got effects on, I'm going to be talking with effects. Yeah, let's forget that idea. That's a silly idea. Okay. Right then, so we'll go to Mixbox and we will add an effect. Right. So in my first slot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a tone control. I just want to see if I can kind of get my vocal, not like edgy, like a sort of a distorted metal kind of a vocal, but just something a little kind of, just kind of brighten it a little bit, just give it a little bit of edge. So I can't remember, where it is. Where is it? Is it under? Yeah, it's there. It's under amps. There we go. Right. All right. Let's just have a listen to what this sounds like. Things have been tough ever since we met. We've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. When things go wrong, and we swear and cuss, just when you've had enough, it goes from bad to worse. And it gets you down, and you just can't cope. But I'll never let you down, so don't lose hope. Okay, so that may have seemed a little sort of a slightly strange thing to do with the vocal at that point, but let me just give you a comparison, because it's not what it sounds like when it's soloed that matters, it's what it sounds like in the mix, obviously. So let me just give you a comparison. I'll leave the effect on and then I'll switch it off. Things have been tough ever since we met. We've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. All right, so at this, it definitely cuts through better. Now it makes it sound a little sort of harsh as well at the same time, but this is just one module, right? Let's see where we go from here. I'm now going to just switch this off for a moment and add a channel strip, because I want to get my channel strip, if I can remember how to speak properly, sounding okay without this tone control in front of it, then reactivate it and blend the two things, right? So things have been tough ever since we met. We've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. When things go wrong and we swear and cuss, just when you've had enough, it goes from bad to worse, and it gets you down and you just can't cope. But I'll never let you down, so don't lose hope. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. Okay, right. Now I'm not sure at this point. I think the way I've got the channel strip set up, I think is more or less right. I think this thing with the tone control is going to work, but I'm not entirely sure yet. We may end up losing it, but I'm not sure if it's maybe not quite a ballsy enough track to need it. And if I lose it, then I can always add a little more top end on the channel strip. Cleared the mud from the vocals. Yeah, it kind of yeah, my vocals are kind of nasally, as to be said. So yes. So this is something I try to sort of, obviously I can't change the sound of my voice, but something I maybe just try to just kind of scoop a little of the nasaliness out of it, and maybe just kind of brighten up some frequencies that sort of just kind of improve it, I suppose. Nasally for that last... Oh, nasally for the last effect, you mean? Not the vocal itself. Okay. Do you mean when I take this tone control round to mic, the setting number 2? Because I wasn't sure which model to use. I'll show you what I mean by the modeling. And let me just... I'll solo this track and I'll just scoot through the models of the tone control. Things have been tough ever since we met. We've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. Actually, I'm glad I showed you that, because I kind of liked the sound of number 5 when I did that. Let's see what that sounds like in the track. Things have been tough ever since we met. We've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough. Okay, so this channel strip, one thing I meant to mention to you was it compresses. Now I'm gonna add another compressor, but it does compress here at this point, and I'm just applying a light amount of it. So I think what I'm gonna add here, I think, is a De-Esser. If I can remember where it goes, where it is rather. Is it in filter? It's not in filter. No, that would be stupid. It's not in distortion. That's stupid too. It's not in there, is it? No. Oh, that's I just looked in there. Idiot. Okay. It's not in modulation. Where is the De-Esser? There, in dynamics. That seems a little odd. Why would it be in dynamics? Okay, let's just we'll do this soloed, I think, and I'll just play around with the De-Esser and show you what I'm using it for. Things have been tough ever since we met. We've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. When things go wrong and we swear and cuss, just when you've had enough, it goes from bad to worse, and it gets you down, and you just can't cope. But I'll never let you down, so don't lose hope. Alright, okay, now at this point I always start to feel a little bit like, you know, I'm not sure. But I kind of know, I know my voice. And what I'm looking for is, like I said, to kind of lose that nasaliness, give it a little bit more bite, enhance the frequencies of it that do sound nice. And then I'm using the De-Esser to sort of just lose that sort of the fizzy top, you know, that doesn't need to be there. This is kind of a setting that I've used before. Usually this is kind of a little further down, but it seems to sound quite nice on this track so far, around about there. And I'm not an expert on a De-Esser, what it does or how it works. I just know that having arsed around, having pissy panted around with one, these settings seem to work for my voice, and so I kind of just keep coming back to similar settings and just playing around with them a little until it seems to sit nice. Now, at this point, what I would normally do is throw on a compressor, and in Mixbox, there's a couple of compressors that I particularly like. And the first one is this one, the one that just says compressor, and then the other one is the white one, which is very, very simple. So I tend to go with the white one first and see if I'm happy with it. As you can see, it's a super simple compressor. You switch it between limiter and compressor. And now with this one, it can, sometimes the needle doesn't move in a nice reassuring needle movie kind of way. So you sort of have to listen to it and see if it's doing the job you want it to do. So let's solo the voice and play around with the compressor and see if we can get this one to do what we want it to do. We basically want to kind of even out the signal, and also maybe add a little body to it. This one colours the sound a little as well. So let's just see what that turns out like. Things have been tough ever since we met. We've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. There's something that's slightly uncomfortable about this for me is that for some reason when I don't know if other people do this, I don't know, but for some reason when I'm singing, when I finish singing a line, I have to make these strange little noises, which obviously get cut out of the final mix. And I'm sure I don't do it when I'm singing live, but when I'm recording, I seem to make these little noises kind of after the line. And because I've just compressed it, it's bringing those little noises up in the bits, you know, where I haven't chopped it out yet. So anyway, you know, it's there, it is. So the clear grey sky is going to work. Have a great day. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy your work. Ben66 says it's sounding nice and clear. Mix is smooth. And now it sounds better, not like the way it did before with too many mids. Okay, right, so you think we're heading in the right direction. They show that you are human. Yeah, Mick. I guess, yes, imperfections are what it's about, really. I mean, the human quality of making music, for me, is what it's all about, because, you know, if not, then we might as well just let the robots do it, and we. So, where are we? Compressor. There's a thing that I have used at times that's worked on my voice. I'm going to try it here. At this point, all I really need to add is a reverb, but I'm going to try another thing as well, the Ensemble Module. Now, there's another module that I'm not really an expert on. I don't really know what it's all about, but let me just show it you. That's right, it's under modulation. Now, I'm not even really sure what this is modelled on, or what it's supposed to be, what it does. What I'll do is I'll pissy pants around with it, and I'll show you what it does, and then I'll show you how I've set it previously, and we'll see if this works for this track. So I'll just solo out the track and make some noise with it. Things have been tough ever since we met. We've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. Hey, it's cool, isn't it? It's a cool sound. Not so human now. No, absolutely not. It's an effect that I've applied subtly to my voice on other recordings and I've been very pleased with it. So I'm just going to kind of go to the more or less the settings that I would normally use now, and let's see if it works in this track. Things have been tough ever since we met. We've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. Alright, okay, so that's more or less the kind of settings that I normally use. I'm not really sure that it does work for this track, but I do like the sound of this module. I just wanted to show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just deactivate that module, but I'll leave it in there for now, and I will add, you like it in the mix? Okay. I'm going to add some reverb, get a nice reverb sound, and then I'll see what the ensemble module sounds like with the reverb, because I've found that they tend, it's the correct pairing of ensemble module and reverb module is what seems to set it off. Okay, so let's find a reverb. Now I usually go with the digital reverb. I'm just trying to think which might be best for this room. Digital reverb or room reverb. Let's see. Things have been tough ever since we met. We've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. Alright, okay, so I do like the sound of this room reverb module. I'm just gonna solo it, switch the ensemble in and out, maybe have a pissy pants around, and then I'll unsolo the vocal and do the same thing again. And then let's see what you think in the chat. Things have been tough ever since we met. We've had it rough, but I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. When things go wrong and we swear and cuss. Okay, and now, like I said, I don't know really what this module is based on or what it's supposed to be exactly, but to my ears, it's kind of a chorusing kind of a sound, maybe a bit of a sort of a doubler kind of a thing, and it kind of adds a characteristic to the voice that I think is very 80s. So what are we thinking about it? What are people saying in the chat? Nobody is saying anything about what they think about it. All right, tell me, what do you think? They work well together. Yes, that's what I think, Mick. I think that reverb in particular and that effect, they seem like the reverb, it's a nice reverb, but for me it doesn't take the vocal into a stellar territory like the digital reverb does in this rack. The digital reverb is just a kind of a whole bigger stage kind of thing, it's more arena than it is nice room, but it doesn't work quite so well with the ensemble one on my voice. So it's this whole process is about a combination of the modules and how you set them, and the only way to really get there is to pissy pants about an awful lot with them. Just solo something out and throw some modules in there, anything, arse around with them, see what you can make out of them, and then things that don't work, you just close it out, try something else, and you find combinations of things, and you really don't have to be an expert on it. I'm not an expert on it. You don't have to be knowledgeable about it. You don't have to know what compressor this is based on and when it was made and when it was introduced and when it became obsolete and how it all, what component, blah, 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 blah. You don't need all that. All you need is your ears. You open up the module, you pissy pants about with it, you find a point where it sounds good. You solo it, it sounds good. You put it back in the track, it sounds good. It's good. Right? Your ears are the only judge that matters, and you can do all this yourself. Now, I provide people with presets on my Patreon account for all kinds of different apps, and the idea of that is not I know how to do this better than you. It's not I'm trained and skilled in this area and so use my presets because they're better than what you would make. They're not for that at all. They're for you to have a look at my presets and dissect what I did. And then sort of from looking at how I did it, then learn sort of how it's done. And then you can adjust them and make them suit what you need, right? Because a preset for my voice is not going to sound right for your voice. A preset for my synth sound is not going to be right for your synth sound, but it might get you in the ballpark and then, take it from there. That's the whole thing. No wrong with the 80s. Absolutely not, no. I was You need to hear it in the mix more. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I was born in the 70s, right? So the early 70s. So I was, you know, a teenager in the 80s when all that awesome stuff happened. In fact, I'm 49, and we worked out, me and the missus worked out that if you've seen Stranger Things, when the series started, right, the year that it was set in, I was the same age as those boys in Stranger Things are at that point. And all the things that they're playing with, all the things that they're doing, all the stuff they're into is exactly what I was doing. The whole Star Wars, Dungeons and Dragons, arcade machines, that whole thing is and I like Strange Things, it's a great program, but one of the big things I enjoyed about it was that 80s thing. Just wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to play this vocal a little more in the mix for you. I'm getting ready to sign off shortly, but let's just do a bit of that. I'm leaving Ensemble on, and I'm just going to come out of here and let's just play the track. I may just have a little fiddle with the mix, so let's take it to the start. I'm just going to make everything smaller so I can just see where we are. Let's go back here. No, actually, I said that right, didn't I? Yeah, there we go. Since we fell in love, things have been tough. Ever since we met, we've had it rough. But I have no doubt you're the one for me. The only thing I know is we were meant to be. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough, there's only one place to be. Through troubled times, we'll stand together. Whatever they throw at us will last forever. Through troubled times, we'll stand up tall. No matter what they do, we'll beat them all. When things go wrong and we swear and cuss, just when you've had enough, it goes from bad to worse, and it gets you down and you just can't cope. But I'll never let you down, so don't lose hope. When things get rough, count on me. When things get tough. Okay, so it doesn't sit perfectly in the mix because it's not a perfect mix, and the way that I would work from here is, having got in a sort of almost finished kind of a vocal sound, is I would have the vocal up pretty loud, and I would gradually start working through the other instruments now, getting final sounds for each instrument and then bringing them up to a level and finding where they sit in the stereo picture. I've got one concern about this track, which I'll come back to in a little moment, as long as I don't forget like a stupid old brainless hippie. I need to record some lead guitar, and I need to work on the sounds of the drums and congas and the mix. So I think what I'll do is this evening I will change the strings on my my silver bass Telecaster, because I think I'm going to use that one for the lead on this, and then tomorrow I will do a lead guitar, and then the day after we'll get stuck into getting the finished sounds and the finished mix, something like. I'd like to finish the track by the end of the week, but I think harmony vocals are going to be a problem on this one. I would like to hear some harmonies, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to do them. So maybe a couple of low harmonies, but that's not really going to have the effect that I'm looking for, I don't think. But I will have a piss pants bout with that later, and come back to that. So unless one of my fellow iOS YouTuber types would like to sing some harmonies on it for me, I don't know if there's anybody who might like to do that. Okay. You like the separation in frequencies and the and now the vocals fit the mix. Born in the late 60s. God, you know, I really wish I'd been around in the 60s. It's funny because somebody was asking me, quite a few people recently actually keep asking me about the Dan Electro baby sitar. And, you know, so when you talk about the Dan Electro baby sitar and why it was made, where it comes from, the history of that, you know, that's very kind of ingrained in the 60s and what it was all about. And the more I talk about that, the more I just wish I was there. I wish I had been the right age to be in a band, and having a shot at being in a successful band, either in the late 60s or in there's some cool stuff in the 70s. A glam rock band would have suited me. You know, T-Rex, Bowie, Slade, Sweet, Mud. I love all that stuff. But you know, the 80s was the time, I think, really, when I could maybe have thrived if I'd been a bit older. The problem was that the kind of music that I could have really been involved in, that could have really happened for me, that I could have contributed to, I was just a little bit too young, because as I became old enough to be able to, you know, to have a car and drive my gear around and be in bands and stuff, the 80s rock explosion thing was tailing out, and the whole the miserable dirty hair, checked shirt, shoegazy, miserable grungy thing happened, and that, you know, and I was too late. So anyway, I'm wittering now, wittering. So anyway, you saw Star Wars when you were 16. I was 5. I know exactly how old I was when Star Wars came out, and it's been my favourite movie ever since. And although I think that, okay, you might hate me, but I think that Rogue One is the best Star Wars film. It's the best made, it's the best acted, it's possibly the best story. Obviously the original is always going to be the classic, and Empire is always going to be the really dark, really cool film. And the original trilogy, I mean, they're just like that, you know, they're the 3 holy books. But I think Rogue One is the best thing that's come out of the Star Wars franchise, really. Alright, so I maybe best get out of here before anyone kills me. So and Ben66, you were 10 when Star Wars came out. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you guys for being here and making me feel younger, because everyone else makes me feel old. So right, so that's where we're at, right? Okay, so we've got a lead vocal down, and like I said, there might be little bits of it that might be, as I live with it a little bit, it might annoy me a little bit, and when I try and do some backing vocals for this, I may replace 1 or 2 little bits like that, but otherwise it's kind of finished. We've got a sound for it that's approaching the right kind of area. I kind of like that sound. So tomorrow, some lead guitar, and then after that we'll get into the finished sounds and the mix, and somewhere along the way I need to work out what I'm going to do about harmonies. So thank you ever so much for being with me and bearing with me while I got that vocal down. I hope that it's been a reasonable experience for you. I really appreciate you being here. So until my stream tomorrow, Be good people and take care of yourselves and make some music. And I've forgotten how to talk. And join me tomorrow if you can. Don't be spent about. See you later. Bye bye.